Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to another edition of Radiogunk. I am joined tonight by John, who is Arm, and Dennis, who is the Jackie Chair. We decided that we needed to do a show tonight. One, because everybody's sitting home bored out of their wits, waiting on this virus thing to kind of run its course and hopefully not affect any of us and move on. But two, because this week's shows were quite possibly some of the worst radio in the world of radio, whether it be podcasting or radio or, CB radio, whatever. It is some of the worst radio we have heard in a long, long time. So we kind of got together and decided on some key elements from every single day that we would highlight out to you. We have some video clips, we have audio clips, and we just wanted to go through the week because it was just so horrific that mere words cannot explain how the man who makes $90 million a year can use something like Zoom to do his show for 3 days in a row and think that that's okay. And it boggles one's mind to understand why this happened.
Let's also preface this that he had 13 days to prepare for this.
No, corrected, Dennis. You stand corrected. He had 14 years to prepare.
No, let's go back a little bit. Let's go back a little bit because, Howard's not going to work any extra marble hours if he doesn't have to. So basically,
I saw you post that. That was great.
He had probably from about 5 p.m. on Sunday to get his shit together for Monday morning. And you know it. And
I know. It's just, it's insane. No other human being would do that for a professional job.
I go back to my 14 years comment.
14 years.
From the day they started at Sirius. From the day they started at Sirius, they teased and bragged how we're going to do these spontaneous ISDN shows. I have brought this up on this show, I don't know, 30 times. It was one of the unfulfilled promises. Benjamin's got that huge list. It's like 15 pages. This is one of the – he had said, anytime something big happens, we'll just hop on, do some shows from the Hamptons, and I'll call it. That hasn't happened once. They did one test show at 7 o'clock in that Howard – and they did it once as a test and never did it again. But, Monique, you were so right because what you said – and I guess I just read a post where you said Howard views everything he does as far as preparation, as little as it is and as little sweat equity and calories he's burning, as work. It's like if you were a school teacher and you ran into another school teacher in the supermarket and you got to talking about kids and you're like, you know what, maybe we should do these lesson plans this way. And then you got so bitter that you called your superintendent on Monday and go, hey, look, I talked to my colleague in the produce department and we talked, I should be paid for that. There's nothing, everything is on the clock with this asshole.
And basically having a chat on over the internet is a meeting.
Right.
It's like literally the most pathetic thing ever. I mean, the preparation for that show started at 6 a.m. on that Monday.
Okay, so the Zoom thing was just incredible to us. Here we go.
Hey now, everybody. Listen,
look at that Zoom.
It's hysterical. Make an opening statement. So let me tell you what's going on. I'm as best I can, and I'm just really fucking annoyed, and it's like everyone else, but... So I'm on my computer on a thing called Zoom, and that's how we're broadcasting to you today. So if it sounds really weird, I don't know what it sounds like. It's an effort to even hear ourselves. We don't have headphones. It's not what we...
Why? Why don't they have headphones? Why are they not set up like normal human beings?
I mean, headphones are not very expensive.
Howard Hughes needs to make sure that they have been sprayed, desanitized, microwaved for 12 minutes before.
Microwave?
Such a dick. Okay, I can't wait to get into this.
As really cats go on the counters.
They have sophisticated earbuds though now that you can go right in.
They're all using their iPod earphones. Every one of them. It's so stupid. All right, here we go. Let me finish.
And Robin, Fred, and Gary are on. Everybody say hello.
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 I missed you.
What we're going to attempt to do is to tell you what's going on with our show anyway, and then try to, this is going to be
so over-enunciated.
That's he's trying to get a deep voice.
Get our regular broadcast set up. And the reason it's taking a long time.
Yeah, why?
I'm going to have a regular rig in my house by next Monday.
Why not this Monday?
By Monday.
Why not
The reason
this
it's
Monday?
taking a long time is because I'm super paranoid, and I'm in complete lockdown, and I'm making everyone who comes in here wear hazmat suits to set up the equipment.
Okay,
He's trying to fool us that he's this perfectionist, like workaholic. You're lazy, germophobic asswipe that can't get near people, and that's the reason this shit doesn't work. It's nothing to do with being a perfectionist.
Jesus.
Right. So Wiggy Dick Breath makes us believe that in the 13 days since he got out of Dodge, aka New York City, that he couldn't have this set up. And any human being, especially day one, when he got out of Dodge, probably like Tuesday night. Right. And so he got out of New York, which I don't blame him for, because I bolted out of there just as soon as I possibly could as well. But he got out of there. He knew he was probably going to do shows even if it wasn't the next week, it would have been the following week, right? Because he owes SiriusXM amount of shows before the end of the year, and there's no way
112
that he's not going to do what he needs to do in order to get paid. No, there's no way. I'm curious about the 2.5 hour shows.
Yeah.
That constitutes a show, but that's a whole nother conversation. But right, so he got out of there. He went out to the Hamptons. He knew he would eventually do shows. How do you wait 13 days to get your shit together? And how, when you get to your shit together, is it Zoom?
This was insulting to SiriusXM as a company.
Bizarrely enough, I think that Sirius was probably like grateful and thankful.
Why?
Even put you know what? It's so weird.
They would have been better replaying something from 20 years ago.
I agree. But as you looked at like the Twitter, I of course put in like some snarky 2-bit comment about what a shit show this was, and everybody's like, "Oh, fuck you! Don't listen. I'm happy to have Howard, even if it's for an hour."
That's the back office has nothing better to do.
And you know what? It's a lot of Marianne from Brooklyn's.
Yep.
Well, she blocked me.
Sycophantic followers that for some bizarre reason will take anything that they can possibly get from him. And fine, if that's what you think. So that's how he opened up the show. I would love to intersplice a video at this point, because I just want you all to see.
This is what they decided to throw out on YouTube. This is what SiriusXM, to make you go to the SiriusXM app. This is what they threw out there.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So this is what they look like. Okay. Look at this. Look at the visual here.
Wow, that's like the ugliest group of people ever.
So they have Gary in his kitchen nook, right?
Nook.
Yeah. Howard in his office or whatever it is. You have Robin in her New Jersey summer home. Beach estate with a drape over the back.
Is that
of
the
her.
bathroom?
Who knows? Then you have the
serial killer
lesbian, right? With a drape over something that he needs to hide there, with his guitars in front of it. And then this would be Jimmy Kimmel that you can't really see. So that's kind of how they set themselves up.
How Howard and Robin's hair seem to be like looking at each other, going, "You want to switch? You want to switch?" I don't know. I think I look better on his.
It literally does look like you can just take them and switch them.
I guess we should switch.
Dracula Gottfried says it looks like a drape in an emergency room. Absolutely. Absolutely. They delivered like muslin drapes to everybody who needed it in order to hide the rest. And the funny thing about it is Howard kept commenting on how all these stars are recording from home, and how, you got a good glimpse into what their lives were like by looking at what was behind him. And he was very, very consciously aware of the
That's
shit.
all he spent time on. That's what he really spent time on. Yeah,
really went crazy with it. So let's take a little trip down memory lane from Monday and see how this show worked out.
You must be going mental.
I guess you guys can't see me. I don't know why.
There you are. Nice.
There's actually a piece of bread on my webcam.
Gotcha.
This is
nice crust.
Oh wait, here comes Beth.
Did somebody actually edit this? Ooh, look at that.
Monique, what's the deal with the sunglasses?
Wow, look at that. Wow. Look at that thing.
Do you think the sunglasses are holding the hair on?
Yes.
In some way?
Yeah, they are.
I'm not
Usually,
even kidding. Like the hair plugs just got
John,
put on and they're holding it.
John, he usually doesn't put his hair. He does not usually put his glasses on his hair.
Yeah,
usually they sit on his forehead.
Right here, right?
So you're right. It's like a tiara to hold his hair in place. That's exactly what that is.
On earth.
So yet
It's a
again,
headband.
here is one of his like 9 fireplaces that are
Chimneyville.
in Chimneyville, exactly. So I think this is the point where so they had Jimmy, and then oh my God, there's so much to go
Monique,
through.
great pause.
awful.
Monique, that's a great pause. That's the best
Look at that
emotion I'm
nose.
going to see.
Look at that nose. Look at that thing.
Profile.
It's evil. It's an evil
Wow.
nose.
That
Oh, she finally got there.
You got to hear this one. I know.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
let me cue this up for everybody. So
Ron Perlman and the Sons of Anarchy.
the way the morning started.
I can't.
The way the morning started was all how
Guess
we could talk
who?
about. All right, it was humble brag times 1,000.
Yep.
Yep.
Right? I mean, I don't
Yep.
even know how to describe how the show went down.
I look at it and I keep on thinking, you were number 5 with that?
Ching chong, ching chong, ching chong.
Oh my God.
So he started out the show. So he started out the show with talking about how exhausted Beth is because now she's cleaning the house by herself. So I don't even know how to.
She knocked she's got the overalls on and she knocked the left shoulder off. Look, I've been strategically knocked the left overall off.
Well, by the time, then this is probably a little bit later in the game, but by the time Beth got onto the show, he had been extolling her virtues like she was a saint and that she was cleaning the entire house. Now let's all consider that it's a 16,000 square foot home for 2 human beings who probably only use at best 4 rooms in that house, right?
No, even better, Monique. I looked this up. It's the largest house in the area by far. The second biggest is only 10,000 square feet. His house is 16,000 square feet. And we're expecting this one skinny to be running around cleaning the whole thing.
Rebecca Edwards said Beth looks like Chucky.
Chucky wasn't that scary.
Classic
Chucky
Chucky, right?
shirt. Crazy. So weird to believe, and all how we could talk about, and this was a running theme throughout the entirety of the 3 days, is what a Saint Beth is, and how she's cleaning up everything, and how wonderful she is.
Now that she's here, I'm going to bring it up again. Beth started in with me last night. She's upset with me. If I get the coronavirus, you feel I'm going to give up and give myself.
Yeah.
What
He's
is that?
the worst sick person ever. If he has the sniffles, he goes, I feel like.
How is she so chipmunky and so anorexic all at the same time?
Yeah, those jowls. I mean, it has
fillers.
It has jowls now. It does look like the snow miser.
I know my friend Monsoon is online with us, but yes, look at the fillers. Like, this is the face of an almost 40-year-old. There's no
almost 50.
way.
Almost 50.
50. I meant 50. There's no way this head.
Dennis went crazy.
It's 50.
All right, next nerds.
But there's no way this face is that smooth at this age. All right, let's listen to a little bit.
I'm dying. If and when we get this, you have to remain positive. You have to just carry on. You're going to get
Remain positive.
Don't just
You'll never get positive.
I know you're going to give up. You have to get out of this. I think you have to really
look at
know you're going to get through.
The sinew in its neck.
And you're not.
Why are you?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, she's crying.
People going to live without
I just want to make a statement.
What an actress.
She's
That's
almost
the
fucking
emoting.
retarded that she's crying about this. Like, can we think about this for a second?
It's
like,
not
if
crying.
I looked at that every night, I would cry just for the fact that he's stuck with me 24/7. I can't get away. Like, I have nowhere to go.
That's why I actually believe this is its best acting ever.
How do you think she got the role on Flirting with Disaster? Look at the emoting. Oh my God.
The best part of my life is being with you. I'm not going to die and leave you to some asshole to marry you.
Oh, sentimental plughead.
I want to be here with you. Yes, I'm going to complain during it, and I'm going to isolate myself in the bedroom.
The Darth, all the compressions off.
You'll bring me my meals.
Slide him under the door.
You slide him under the door.
No, I'll hand feed him.
And I'll
get it.
And I'll take time and all that.
Yeah.
You'll wish he gave up.
Nice, Jimmy.
So here's Howard saying that St. Beth has cleaned the whole house, and she constantly cleans the house. And then the next day, they talked about how she cleaned the house. So if nobody's in the house, why is she cleaning so goddamn much?
Cats. The 500 cats that are running around.
Sorry, the cats are limited to the pool room.
No. No, the household cats are everywhere, including on the kitchen counters.
Big deal, but how much cleaning does she need to do?
Because she's not. Because
She's not. It is not cleaning. It's not doing anything.
The overhead, Monique, when you show the overhead of their house, they have 3 guest houses behind the main house. Who do you think is staying at that all year round? Could it be the 12 cars that are in the driveway, the help that are doing that? And then she runs around approving and supervising and say, yeah, that's good, that's clean, that's clean. And then he's bragging about how much she's running up and down the stairs. And so if that even exists, when she supposedly broke her hoof to not go to Gary's house, it's because she's like unnecessarily running up and down a spiral staircase to try to get the anorexics trying to get exercise in the fucking stair. She's probably in the elevator.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They have an elevator, too. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Stuttering Down told us about the elevator.
Right, I forgot about the elevator. I totally forgot about that. All right, I'm pulling up a picture of his house so that we can all take a
4 acres, baby. 4 acres.
4 acres, 16,000 square feet, 8 bedrooms, 12 bathrooms,
and a lot of chimneys.
Separate little.
See that?
Right
guest house.
I think that this is where the cats hang out.
Yes,
like
it is.
Here, like
that's
right
where
by the
Ben.
pool.
That would have been Ben and Ray's room, but instead it's used for the cats. So
right. You know what? No, honestly,
that's what he said.
I gotta go
he
with
said
Howard
that
with this, but there's no way I want my 90-year-old parents
but
in my
that's
house.
what he said. But then all of a sudden,
I'm not that benevolent either. I would kill if I had my mother in the house with me.
It's 16,000 square feet. You can do days without seeing them.
No. So even this picture, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars just in residency
that you can see.
But yeah, so this is the home of Howard.
There are road projects that use less brick.
Right, what a waste of land, and they for the time they use that. What is it? D-list?
Oh no.
She thinks
Beefus lives there.
Right,
yeah,
but
she
even
lives
before
there
that,
full time for sure.
Yeah,
but before that, it was a waste. She hadn't. That's even more of a waste that she lived.
He built this to suit. Like, this is a built to suit house. So yeah, that's what we're looking at here. Okay, just so that you can get the scope of what Beth allegedly.
And that's 2 stories. That's and the basement with a bowling alley.
No, it's 3 stories.
Oh, that's right, 3. That's right.
Stuttering John said it's 3 stories.
And it has a basement with a bowling alley.
And it has a basement with a bowling alley. I do want to get to some more clips.
This is Gary talking about stocks all of a sudden. That Gary stands to lose money, and this is stock talk with Bobblebooey.
You want to talk about how much money you've lost in the stock market? You got to hear this. So Gary was complaining to the guys who write on the show.
And by the way, none of them have their phones off. So all you keep hearing is like these of like messages and shit coming in.
Afterwards, after everyone hung up the phone, everyone called each other and said, "Who gives a fuck?"
Can I explain how it went on my end? Yeah. I was not complaining about it at all. In fact, I said, I'm not dealing with that as far as a loss, but I was trying to explain how bad the market was. So I was saying,
Baba boring. I love that one.
Wow.
I put $200,000 into an account a year ago, and it had been up to $270,000 as of February 19th. And then as of that day, it was down to 172. And I was saying that I'm using it as a barometer of trying to watch how bad the market is. But I was not complaining about the loss. That's just Jason being catty.
But nothing makes Howard happier than somebody else, especially someone like Gary, losing money. And Jason knows he loves it, so he gave him that.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so as we go on in the morning on Monday, Mr. Paranoia just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And it actually floated from paranoia into humble bragging at some point.
Yeah, it always does.
Right, it always does. So where should I go next? Do Gay Bedside Manor? Like
bragging about Beth and her bedside and something called a duvet.
Oh, duvet is a fancy cover for a bed.
It's not a fancy cover. Everybody uses a duvet.
To me, it's fancy.
Doesn't everybody use a duvet? No, seriously.
I don't think so.
No.
Okay. If you don't have a dog, you probably don't, but you need one when you have a dog because you
Why?
Because your dog jumps on your bed. And
Mine doesn't.
Okay, well, mine does because I love him more than anything else in this world. And so you need something to just not ruin your actual good. Okay. All right, never.
But I offered to help.
Sure.
I did. I swear to God.
What were you going to do?
I don't know, but you know what? It's good exercise for her. She's like totally ripped from doing the vacuuming and everything. And but the other day I helped her change the bed sheets. No fucking idea how hard and complicated our bed stuff is.
Are you serious?
Like we have, what is that called? A duvet?
Yes.
Oh yeah. We have one of those and stuff.
And you had to restuff it?
Yeah, and Beth's like all about, like, she's super clean, so she's washing everything. Like, you know, lighten up. And
again, why is this such an issue when they are two human beings in a home? Like,
because they don't sleep in the same bedroom. So whose room were they working on?
Katie Aldana is relatively great poster. She's relatively new to our circles. Great broad. She writes, maybe cleaning to Beth means organizing her clothes and shoes. I think she's spot on. I think her version of cleaning is just organizing her own shit. And she makes a blanket statement, no pun intended, that it's the whole house. And then Bznick writes, Beth is cleaning all the coke off her countertops.
I feel bad, you know. I love Beth so much, and she's taking.
But you don't mind putting her to work?
No, I offered to help, and she was like, "No, it's, you know what, you fucked everything up. Just let me do it."
Of course.
This is the idiot basically telling us that we need to microwave everything that comes into our homes, right? Okay, here we go.
Like takeout food or anything like that. Anything that's brought in, all my food in the microwave for 20 seconds and kill the coronavirus on it.
Right. So you're still getting takeout?
Well, I'm having food brought in, sometimes.
I wondered how you were getting food because I
can't get a straight answer, right?
Well, you know what I'm doing, man? I'm really bad. I want to give a shout out to my buddy, High Register Shawnee. I'm now I'm getting that survivalist mentality.
You're sitting on a bucket right now of food, right?
Let me move on. So what's this self-Florentined?
This is Robin's setup. This is what Robin's.
So he basically ripped her a new asshole for not having Okay, so the big issue became cleaning women. Mm-hmm. And that was a running theme throughout the entirety of the 3 days that he worked, which amounted to 7 hours worth of time, maybe 7 hours, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And he was obsessed with Robin having somebody come in to clean her home. And Robin tried to explain to him that since she had the cancer and her immune system was like way down, like that she gets it. Like I get what I need to do in order to self-quarantine myself so that I don't get sick from anybody else. But as usual, Howard doesn't believe that anybody should be even leaving their doorstep. Although, interestingly enough, later on in the week, he commented about how him and Beth took a walk on the beach, and he was upset that other people were on the beach, as if he owns the beach.
There were plebeians on there. They weren't millionaires.
How dare they? How dare they? Okay, so let's listen to a little self-Florentine and see what that's about.
So let me give you a staff update. First of all, Robin, what's going on with you?
I'm fine because I've quarantined before. When I was on chemo, I had to self-quarantine.
Because anybody who came in contact with you could have given you a cold and that.
That's right. So it was always like, I'm the one who needs protection. You all are sick, and stay away from me.
Let's be real clear on this. I keep checking in on Robin because she's alone, and I don't know if she's lonely or what. You're not self-quarantining.
Look, you.
He has.
I am not paranoid. Just a few moments ago, to get on the computer, I have someone here.
Yeah.
He was wearing a mask and gloves. Hold it. When he touched the mouse to help me get on, he then wiped it down.
For what?
So what? He's wearing a.
You have to be 10 feet away from people. And what kind of mask was it?
It's one of the ones you're supposed to have, the M9.
All right, you know what? I don't know anybody who has one of those N95. Yeah. Like, I don't know
M. Night Shyamalan
who has one of those. And the fact that these people are so paranoid about their lives and their lifestyles is actually laughable to me. I have to be honest with you.
Well, she's had the remote set up forever. Why is she? Why can't she use what she? What's the difference with what she used to use?
Why can't she wipe her own mouse down?
She's by herself. By herself. There's 15 people helping her do what she should do. The woman, as you say, Monique, what does she make? $15 million a year. She can't do this shit by herself.
No, she can't. I like how Howard had the little quick dig about how she's alone, because she is alone. I mean, he's
bragging, though, Dennis. He's bragging that he's looking out for her. That's his way of like, look at what a great guy. I'm checking on Robin. That's the only thing that he can. He's only checking on her because he needs her laugh track. She's a walking Big Bang Theory laugh track. It's the only thing he gives a shit about with her.
Obviously,
because it makes him feel like he's remotely funny, which he's not.
You know, the cancer thing and the compromised immune system is all the reason for her to really not have anybody in there. So the fact that she's already had an ISDN line completely set up.
Yeah,
you know,
a few of them.
The fact that somebody can't just call her and say, okay, do you remember how to do this? Do you remember how to do that? And then just clean her own shit so that she's there by herself and is protected because she's there by herself. I just don't understand these people.
She goes through ISDN lines like Dennis goes through Cavatelli. This has got to be your fourth. This has got to be your fourth line, or from the day they started, and then the cancer.
Robin needs somebody to order around because she has to feel important, or at least self-important. So a day of her not ordering somebody around is a.
I agree with that.
These have to be people that are around her on a constant basis. You know, she has her people, right?
Yes.
And then Howard gave her total shit about the fact
Captain
that she
Dennis,
had a cleaning woman come in. And she's like, no, she only cleans my house. I'm the only one. And then she tries to tell us she only does it once a week. So it's like, how is it that she only cleans your house? You're the only one. And she only has one job 1 day a week.
And she pays her $90,000 a year.
Exactly.
That's why Robin will be broke.
Have we completely pinned down Robin's residences now? So we got Jersey still, right? She's where in Jersey is that?
Just Jersey and the Upper West Side. That's it.
And she rents on the Upper West Side, right?
She's on West End Avenue, Monique.
Oh, she rebought?
Well, and my theory is that the reason she's so friendly with Jon Hein is because I think Jon Hein bought in her complex.
Is this West End Avenue, Monique?
And that's why they're friends, yeah.
Okay,
that's why they're friends, because they live close to each other.
I thought they had the same taste in food.
Yeah.
Does John run out and get her to Friendlies? You know, the seasonal flavors?
It could be Riverside Drive. That's another spot, that's
exactly,
the same.
Scott Balo, it's Gavadil. Gavadil.
Oh, I'm not pronouncing it like
Gavadil.
No, it's Cavatelli.
No, it's not. It's Gavadil.
Oh my God! Please! Oh,
if you're from Brooklyn, it's Gavadil.
I'm not from Brooklyn.
With a little ricotta and some Sunday gravy. It's Gavadil.
I'll let Polly Walnuts do that.
Right, Lisa. She is definitely at the shore. That's where she's staying. She got out of New York just the same as the rest of them. That's the whole reason that nobody had a Wednesday show, because they all panicked and
right, to skip Wednesday show.
Did Jon Hein get out of New York?
No, Jan's stuck in New York.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I have video of him. He looks like shit.
Well, he looks like shit naturally.
Yeah, right.
What do you guys think? And I'll leave this to the chat boxes. What do you think about the status of New York now with Howard? Is that strike three? 9/11, Hurricane Sandy. Now this is this going to just get him out of New York, and they'll be doing the show from L.A.
No, he won't do L.A.
Not going to L.A.
It'll be Florida.
Do you think he leaves Manhattan for good?
That's
New York
a very, very interesting question.
Yeah. Okay. So this is an ongoing theme that goes on. It's Howard. It's the world's oldest teenager cannot fathom spending an extra minute with your kids. And what do you do when you're under lockdown? Alex's kids, and Jimmy's kids, and Howard.
He couldn't wait for Alec to get on so he could say basically, "I hate my family and I hate being with these kids." And Alec was all like, "I love being home with my kids. I'm never able to do this." And by the way, Ilaria is 2,000 times more attractive than Beth.
Oh, easily.
But the annoyance level is still just as high.
Oh, the whining nasalness of her is enough to, make your sphincter pucker and
go
not
sterile.
be able to shit for years. But yeah. Okay, so let's listen to Take Care of My Kids.
I've prepared every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the family. I got two little kids. It's hard.
Oh my God!
Are you homeschooling, Jimmy?
Well, they're
Robin's
only
another
preschool,
parental.
So there's only so much they're going to learn.
Well, my brother-in-law, he's locked up in his house with his two kids, and they're.
Oh my God, I love this. Okay, so his brother-in-law is homeschooling his kids.
Dennis Hobbs.
And wait until you hear what Howard's donation to this kids learning thing is. I'm hoping that's on here. Okay.
Homeschooling, and we've been assigned. I'm going to teach a broadcasting class to the like 5 and 7.
So you got
5 and 7. He's teaching a broadcasting class. This is all this man knows. This is like fucking Jackie the Joke Man doing 15 different fucking shows, and they're all like one-liner Dump the Joke Man shows. Like, he doesn't know anything other than this. What is he going to do? Send them mics? Tell them how to, like, broadcast with a microphone?
No, he can tell them how to clean out his inbox because he's an expert.
How to push the 7-second delay? How does one teach a class to a 5 and 7-year-old about
5-year-old
broadcasting?
5-year-old.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm doing an art class and broadcasting, and Beth is doing animal adoption classes.
Wow. Okay, in a nutshell, that is exactly all they know.
This is my point. You get stupider when you listen to the show. You can feel your you can feel your IQ, your cerebellum shrinking, everything about your brain. You start to lose all IQ points. I could feel it. I could feel my brain frying when I listen to this. I got stupider in the last 3 days.
Beefus, the other thing it could teach is how to stand there with a bended knee. It can't do anything else.
Don't talk about your personal life, and when you run out of things to say, ask your dad, Doug and Dave, how big is your cock?
Really, he'll show them how to change a duvet. That's exactly right. Idiots. All right, let me finish.
Wait, you're the art teacher.
Yeah, I teach art. I just do a painting class. And
it's not a Leroy Neiman painting of myself, but
Can I say, Monique, Howard does not deserve a friend like Jimmy Kimmel. The mother got up at 3:40 in the morning to help this show along. Every time Kimmel's on it, and I'll give him this, I actually liked the guy for years and years in the Man Show. And he loses points kissing Howard's ass. We know what a celebrity he is, but he makes this show listen. Every time he's on here, he bumps the show up to like listenable, because here's a guy who's kind of in touch and he can kind of speak and he knows shit and he's kind of funny and he's quirky and he pushes back on stuff. You know, he does not deserve this help. Well, get up. I'm going to help this billionaire do a show that he's too lazy to do on his own for less than 1/3 of the year.
And like, Beth's brother actually needs Howard and Beth to chip in to teach his 5 and 7-year-old anything, like anything at all.
A 7-year-old actually may be too advanced for Howard to teach.
That's exactly right.
It's way too advanced.
Right. Like Horses Beth said, here, trace the tulip class. That's exactly right. Like there's nothing that they know that the world at large doesn't know. By the way, so again, I'm going to go back to the man who makes $90 million a year.
Yes, can't say it enough.
Okay, so we saw a picture of Beth the other day where she had a glass of wine in her hand and her weird sausage-like fingers had like chips in its gel.
Yeah, Princess Man hands. That's Princess Man hands.
She was white people probleming about how she can't get the gel, like a new manicure. She 1,000% could have somebody come to the home and give her a fucking manicure, wearing gloves and do anything. Like, I don't understand how people are going so crazy paranoid about what's happening right now. Like, I don't know.
Well, that's what I think that's what you could call the show, Monique. I think you just coined it for the white people problem radio. That would be the only thing to qualify this level of disinformation and shit talk and just nothingness. It's just truly, it's got nothing on Seinfeld. This is the show about nothing.
It's more than nothing. It's less than nothing. It's nothing we want to hear. I can move on.
Okay. I was going to direct you to. So now, Gary Puppet a few months ago had me track down a clip of Howard admitting he colors his hair to Artie. This is like in 2003. And then I just fallen asleep. I put this Pat Cooper playlist on. God, do I miss that Goomba. God, is he just a supernova of funny and confrontation? God, Monique, do you have any line on what his status is right now?
Yes. So he has Alzheimer's. He knows nothing. He's as good as he married a woman who convinced him to get married. But everybody in his family thinks that it's just a money grab. And so, you know, I smell bad things ahead once he kicks off.
It's a Casey Kasem kind of situation going on there.
Yes, exactly.
Is she going to take the body around the world too?
Yeah, hopefully not. Yeah, it'd be horrible.
Commercial, I looked over at Artie and he was covered in black.
Wait, what is this now? Can I, what was this?
Howard's admitting to coloring his hair to get rid of the part.
Okay, good.
War paint. Yeah. And again, it's because every day Tony puts black paint on his bald spot. so we won't offend you on the E! show. Yeah. But I guess Artie scratches it, and there's these big black blotches all over his forehead.
What's going on?
You know what? Tony used to paint in my part of my hair, and I had her stop because what happens is for some reason it itches, and you start scratching your head.
You itch.
And I was walking around with black fingernails all day. Like I looked like I never washed.
Like you were a mechanic or something.
So I said to Artie, why don't you use that spray-on hair? I was not making a joke. I mean, that stuff they use on TV is spray-on hair.
Wow.
Does that not leave residue?
I don't know. But Artie said to me he doesn't even care.
I really don't. You know, I used to, when I was on Mad TV, I was just starting to get bald, and they used that spray stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knows I'm bald anyway.
Artie's got a full head of hair in the front, just a big yarmulke, a bald spot.
Right, it's like a landing
I got a bald.
area.
Yeah, and
All right.
Wow.
Can I ask you, how does he know what all that stuff is? And you go from painting your part into it getting thicker. I mean, if that's not an admission to all of that, I don't know what is. He's trying to, like, kind of, bob and weave with it, no pun intended. And
bob and weave.
And the next one's worse. So this is
Oh, there's more?
6 years before that. It's Tim talking to Pat Cooper about Pat's hair, and he's admitting to all the shit he's having done, thinking this would never be recorded or come back to him. And this is 97.
Wow, I love the way we sidetracked what a shitty show it was into like fucking wig coloring. How did we get here?
I don't know. I feel like I'm in a vortex. I'm in a vortex.
We are so in a vortex. I was waiting to get to the fucking Brady Bunch of show, and now we're back on wigs. All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
So now you have a new hair color, I see.
Hey, Howard, let me tell you something. I got a guy that must be colorblind.
What is he, blind?
Must be colorblind.
You know, a lot
he says it's absolutely brown. I say it's red.
Oh, my God.
I look like a rooster. Are you kidding me?
No, you know what he's got? Like, a lot of guys, when they hit Pat's age, Pat's an older gentleman.
Yeah.
Your hair starts to gray naturally, so you figure
Are you
put
gray, or do you know?
I'm white.
Are you white,
Not
really?
Gray, white. If I was gray, I can handle it.
A guy in show business, Pat appeals to a lot of young people.
Yes.
He wants to look youthful
He's
all the
gotta
time.
be with his generation.
And I don't blame you for that. I would do the same thing. I do that. I put streaks and stuff, and I understand that. You know, I dyed my hair blue one time.
No, we didn't.
I know what you're going for. You want it to look natural. But I even know that guys like Joe Franklin, they always get that orange look to them.
How are we here? How did we get here?
I don't know. This is literally
Johnny.
He's giving you the whole. He's giving.
Johnny, how did we get here from?
Because he and Kimmel just said I'd never colored my hair in my life, and here I have 2 clips to spell.
Wow.
I told you this before we even go. I just move on. This is what we do. We talk about hair.
I literally feel like we just made a wrong turn somewhere, like in Mississippi. Like we're in Indiana all of a sudden.
Let's move on to the case at hand. And so what I want to do now is play another. So let me go there. Okay, I'm gonna move on to Ronnie can't unmute. And I think this is the only thing that actually was silly and funny and stupid at the same time during the Kimmel show. Because Ronnie, being 70, basically didn't know how to use the whole Zoom system. So they were all completely goofing on him, which I thought was hysterical. It was actually quite possibly one of the funniest things that has happened on the show in a long time. So let me go there. Hold on. I'm trying to work.
You know what my attitude sometimes with clips is like every other actors do, like an artistic actor, they do like one for me, one for the studio, one for the indie. That's somehow what I do with clips. One for me, one for you. One.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Johnny,
that's not what I do. I think it's germane. I think people need to see.
Germane.
I live for that scalp. I live for exposing the wig. It's one of my favorite pastimes in all my life. It's
By
all
the way,
I got.
Two Masters just said Detlef arm, and like the whole Detlef thing just kills me.
Oh, unless you're
it.
referencing Detlef Shrimp. That's all I care about. Not wrong.
I love Detlef Shrimp. There's actually a
You
song
know Detlef Shrimp?
Only because there's a song called Detlef Shrimp.
What?
Yes, I will play it for us at the end of this. I know I'll get like.
Oh.
Yes, it's amazing. All right, so here, look at this beautiful view. This is the crew. Here we are. This is the crew of lovelies. Everybody looks like shit, by the way. Just throwing it out there.
Wow.
Right, here we go.
Ronnie, have a quarantine sex tip. Oh, he's asleep.
Wow.
I just took some horny goat weed. I think
so.
unfunny.
Basically, Fred went to the store and bought puppets, and then put a paper mask over the face of the puppets so that he can continue doing his fin puppet thing on Zoom.
That is
It's
embarrassing.
Pathetic and as embarrassing as things can get.
Confirm that he has Kimmel sending him puppets from Crank Anchors before that.
Oh no, there's no way that's
those were actually good puppets. These are embarrassing.
Fred ad-libbing is the worst thing known to mankind. This is just horrible. Let's go on.
Ronnie, unmute yourself.
Ronnie's never had a computer before.
What is this?
By the way, all that sound that you're hearing is actual. This is the way the show is coming through.
Yes.
You're on, Ronnie. You're on. Ronnie, you're on.
$3,100 a minute.
That's $4,000 for these shows, Dennis.
Yeah, that's
2.5 hours. Yeah, got out.
$6,000 a minute then.
$6,000 a minute to see this.
Ronnie's got his glasses up and he's trying to see how to unmute the Zoom.
Nah, it's not working.
I could watch
Kimmel's
that
fake
for
laugh. Kimmel can fake laugh at 4 in the morning.
And Jason just wrote me. He said, no one can unmute Ronnie for him. He's got to do it himself. And as you can see, Ronnie is...
Jason, by the way, has the apartment of like a college dorm.
I think his wife gives him like a comic book room.
There's his little VR set.
Yeah.
So basically, he eats and plays video games. This is
like an 8-year-old boy. Yeah.
So let's establish how much of the staff is on call right now out of the 70. What do you think? You got we found out that Sal.
Yeah.
We heard Sal, right? We heard Benji is using about 10 of them.
Of the 70, yeah.
It's horrible. The Benji bit is horrible.
Ronnie for him. He's got to do it himself. And as you can see, Ronnie is...
That's not going to...
It says mute. All you have to do is hit the button.
There's a microphone.
This is a prodigy,
hit the petcock. Hit the petcock.
Little symbol of a microphone.
Get your daughter to go help you. I meant your wife, girlfriend.
A different version than us.
Oh, Fred, what a rocker. He's got guitars in the background.
He has a different version. How is everybody not set up on the same fucking thing at the same time?
How do you not have the same version of the program? That's pretty bad.
Because Howard is...
Jason looks robust. That's funny.
Listen,
Hello?
Hello?
I really...
Yeah! All right. I don't know anything about this thing. I found it. I did it.
We see you didn't know.
All right, let's move on. What else do we want to get? What else do we want to get to? Can we be done with day one?
No, animal rescue. Okay. Dumb of the beach. So this is Kimmel busting Howard for his fake animal rescue on the beach that says that he's just useless.
We were involved in that bird operation where we rescued that bird on the beach.
Yeah.
I saw a side of you that made me think, oh no, if the shit really hits the fan, we're going to have to rely on Beth.
Why?
Good Lord.
I thought that I was great when that happened. I thought...
Yeah, no.
I ran miles on that beach trying to get help. What are you talking about? Yeah.
You're all that story when you told us.
The story was that a bird needed rescuing. I was with Jimmy, and we had to get a rescue kit for my house.
Right.
And it's true, I got lost on but I mean, you saw how I sprung into action, and didn't we eventually get the shit together?
Yeah, we did. I don't know. I don't feel like it would have happened if I wasn't there, though.
Okay, I'm going to move towards the end of the show because the Benji shtick is so rife.
Kimmel basically just said he cannot find his way from the shore back to their house. Now we've all seen "I Want to Feel the Sun" and how there's a plank that goes right to the beach.
Yeah.
On the bottom, and all he's got to do is kind of
but maybe they had walked really far, and if you've ever walked the beach there, it's literally just dunes and boardwalks, so you don't know whose house.
Monique, he can't find ABC from West 67 in Columbus. You really think you're going to make excuses for him not being able to get back to a plank?
I'm just saying the city
that leads out to 10 feet.
I'm just saying maybe they
have a moat. They have a huge.
I'm just saying maybe they walked down the beach a piece, and there's a lot of big houses over there, guys. Yeah, he might have a huge one, but there's a lot of big houses there. Let's just go to Benji with usual Benji shtick, which is horrible.
I hate that you're giving him attention because you know he's watching, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah, because Benji injured his leg. And, there he is. Yeah, Benji, you can sit up.
No, can you hear me?
All right.
He changed hats.
I'll get to you tomorrow. I'm gonna turn you off.
Howard.
Turn them off. I'm going to get to you tomorrow. No, like he said, I'll get to you tomorrow.
That means Mark
started to fucking cry because he's not getting airtime.
Howard, yesterday when we were doing the test, I said, Benji, can you sit up?
And he goes, I'll have to figure it out. I'm like, you don't know if you can sit up or not?
By the way, he injured his leg. Why can't he sit up on a couch?
So he had an operation 3 weeks ago, and he's still in bed, and the show was off for 13 days. Has Benji even been around? Do we even know?
No, I haven't. You can't tell if he's not there.
No, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know.
And Ronnie, can you pause that? Scott Bailow believes Gary had plastic surgery on his upper lip. It's a strange-ass theory. I never...
Made his lips smaller?
Yeah. It's not ridiculous. He's got the money for it.
No, there's no way that would happen.
That's like literally... That's
a babobotomy.
Yeah, that's like...
This is just emblematic of how boring the show was.
You're shooting the shit with your friends, but you're not talking about your personal life. You're lying. You won't use proper names, and that's what you get. This awful show they have now, because he will not talk about his personal. And I don't believe very few things in here are the truth. I think he can lie at the drop of a dime and about the stupidest things that have no consequence whatsoever. The cleaning, the whatever. I think when in doubt, it's a lie.
All right. So at the end of the show at 9:13, right, he's wrapping it up, that he called himself a hero for doing the show.
So let's go to day 2. Even though day 1 was bad, day 2, they dropped out every 5 or 6 minutes. It was insanity. So it was actually a hard show to listen to. And I love the way by day 3, he was saying that he got so much credit for doing such a wonderful show. And he listened to nothing that anybody said on Twitter. I mean, everybody was saying, this is so horrible. But none of that mattered. So, okay, let's go to day 2. This is the Dr. Agus day.
He's reading staff email telling him how great he is, and that he's going to run with Andrew Cuomo for president.
I don't know. Yesterday's show was really cool, though. It actually made a lot of noise.
It made a lot of noise
from all the shows like Access Hollywood and all these shows. They were kind of excited that we were doing a show. I really, in all honesty, didn't think it was that big a deal that we were doing a show, but evidently it is. People were very excited about it.
I didn't see one news clip about it.
I didn't either.
Yeah,
no. I think people expect that we wouldn't be doing a show, but Howard, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being live today. The show sounded great. I don't care how the quality of the audio is. I would listen to this show through a soup can. You helped us all through 9/11. We're helping. We're heroes. You and Governor Cuomo should run for office in 2024. I love you. Don't get
Who's
sick.
going to be on the top of the ticket?
Me, of course.
So this is Robin's experience as a nurse, how she knows what's going on. She knows what to do.
Oh, Christ.
And she's Nurse Yeti.
Robin hasn't been a nurse in 40 years, so.
No,
like, they literally would just come out with the polio vaccine. When Robin was a fucking nurse. And now, all of a sudden, she knows everything.
I am perfectly fine. I know what I'm doing. I used to take care of people who had contagious illnesses, Howard, and I never got one of them because I know how to isolate. I know how to take care of myself in dangerous situations like that.
Bullshit.
You know, the fact that he thinks he needs to self-isolate as if he's asymptomatic or has a fever, like anything, like that he needs to be that person that stays in his home and doesn't touch another human being.
It really actually goes back to a humble brag, because I am so wealthy, I can just sit in my house and have other people bring shit to me. That's how wealthy I am.
All right, so let's continue on with Agus. I think we only have a few clips for him, and then we can get into Alec. Okay, so what is this Hazmat studio?
This is Howard bragging about how Charlie's not going to be anywhere near him, and he's going to have him in a hazmat suit, if this even exists, has to come in there at the most difficult of means to try to set this asshole up, who should have had this done 15 years ago.
Right.
In fresh. In other words, it's all new and cleaned. New equipment. That's number one. Number two, the guy's coming in a hazmat suit, walking down 5 stairs, going right into what I'm now calling my radio studio, which is like an old closet. And he's going to come in and install the equipment for me. I'm not going to be down there. And then it's going to sit there all the way through the weekend, so the coronavirus dies off of it.
AKA, he's not on the dime yet. So He doesn't even want to look at it until he has to, right?
They don't pay. He's not getting paid for the time, so he's
Right.
not touching anything.
Right.
Did you have a sterilization process?
Oh, well, that is going on. But first, all the corona, before I even go in there and sterilize, Charlie's going to sterilize mine.
So it's brand new equipment that he's making somebody in a hazmat suit sterilize. Then he's going to leave it for 4 or 5 days and then re-sterilize it again because somehow this virus has mutated into a, metal-eating bacteria of some sort that Howard somehow will escape by antibacterializing it.
Mind you. He's got his spritz bottle. That's some bullshit that kills the coronavirus. Then when I go in, when Beth goes in and cleans up the entire room, she'll be safe.
Tell the truth. Yes, Beth is going in
I'm
first.
trying to be as honest as possible. After Beth gets, and it's going to take her a full day because there's a lot of stuff to clean.
What?
I want all the walls wiped down, everything. No, I'm going to go in there. But we're going to nuke that basement like it's Chernobyl. In other words, it's all
like it's Hitler.
This is Howard Hughes. This is
it is. It's a form of humble brag though, because there's an elitist narcissism where he gets off on saying, like you guys just said magnificently, like he's so sequestered, so away from this person, so beneath him, he can't. Even though this guy's doing all this shit for him supposedly, and I don't even believe it until I say that he can't even be near this person as he's going out of his way to put himself in harm's way in Howard's presence in a hazmat suit, and Howard still can't go near him, even though. Or he won't even go into the room until it's the start of the show.
Right. Because
this, like you said, it's going to mutate and it's going to, it even matters. Like him live even matters. He doesn't need to be in the studio. I say this all the time. He doesn't need to be live. He doesn't need to be in Sirius. Nothing about this show is enhanced by the live effect.
All right, my father-in-law, Lori Murray Ching Chong, what is this?
Dr. Agus's father-in-law is Maury Povich.
Which is the strangest fucking thing.
Literally so bizarre.
So what does that make him? Connie Chung is his mom?
Connie Chung Chung.
Stepmom.
Stepmom. So Maury's been married a few times, right? So this could be like his...
All right, so I don't even need that clip because we just explained it. So
it's really odd.
Right.
Now we know how Dr. Agus has his
Shelter
start.
Island staring contest.
This is Beth bragging about cleaning again.
This is really good. This is the kitchen.
She says shelter.
I can't get it.
600.
And honey, did you listen to Dr. Agus?
Amazing.
Oh, come in here. Come over here. Say hello.
She sounds like she's on Gary's Squawk Box.
You don't look good?
No,
you look a lot better.
Well, we know that.
Cleaning.
You know what? I think the cleaning is making her more beautiful.
Well, he keeps saying it's getting you into great shape.
Yeah, I don't have to exercise with this house.
Yeah, actually, I was on the treadmill and I said to Beth, "You want to join me?" And she was like, "No, I work out all day by doing all this housework."
And the amount of stairs I go up and down with the kittens downstairs.
Tell everybody what you did. Did you learn anything from Dr. Agus?
Well, the one important thing, of course, that I love the most, what he said, is this is a perfect time to adopt a pet because you're at home and you can put the time in. You can train a puppy or just have an adult dog that's just sitting in a cage, sitting on your lap and getting you through this tough time. Also, an amazing opportunity to foster. You're home all day. You can really help the shelters. Call your local shelter. Ask what they're doing with fostering. I'm sure they will deliver the animal to you. I can't say every adoption or rescue will do that, but they will 100% provide all the.
Why am I listening to her?
Christ.
She's reading from a script.
So this human doctor that kills people with cancer is an expert now on when people should get pets, and then this Nimrod comes around, running around, who literally handpicks the cats, the kittens that it takes care of with help, and it's running around telling people how to take care of cats. Really? Yeah.
She had the Buckwald script, too. That's clearly off the Buckwald.
No, that's a definite Beth thing, because, what else does she do all day? Honestly.
That's why this fake career was concocted for her. What happened to the dogs? You don't take care of dogs because dogs are high maintenance. You got to be around them. You got to walk them. You got to do shit. You got to do shit.
You got to pick the shit up.
Buckwald because dogs are cutting into her bon vivant life. So now it's cats. All of a sudden she loves cats. You didn't have cats her whole life. Now she loves cats. You don't just start loving cats at 48. It's bullshit. It's like pro wrestling. They're creating a script and a career for this idiot.
All right, the next clip I see is Heinebedes.
This is Jon Hein being Jon Hein. It's so awful. It's wonderful.
Yeah, all right, here we go. Hang on. I'm getting there, guys. Just bear with me one quick second. Stop. All right, you know what, Jackie? You do all this next time. You
I know it's tough.
Face.
We gotta read. We gotta read what.
Are you being snarky with me right now?
Yes.
I was going to talk to Jon Hein about.
What is he doing during Corona?
Oh, there he is. Hey, John.
Look at Jon.
How much TV, by the way, are you watching?
Look how happy Jon Hein is. Look at him.
Because you used to watch an inordinate amount of TV before all this went down. Are you like wall-to-wall TV now?
Howard, I haven't moved from this couch.
So let's look at Jon Hein for a second. Wow. So here's Jon Hein, who has now moved into ostensibly, I believe, to be Robin's apartment building. And they probably, they made the fatal error of everybody moving from their empty nester home into the city.
Such a weird move.
It's a very common move. But what I'm saying is the classic fatal error that people who move back into the city make is that they attempt to bring all their tremendous furniture with them, which does not fit into the 1,000 square foot apartment or 800 square foot apartment. So everything is too big for the room. So I'm sure this couch takes up
why would you want that? Why would you want that?
Of their living. Well, they don't realize it. Nobody realizes it until you move that furniture in.
Look at him. Do you think he knows what interior decorating is?
No. He's one of the ugliest human beings I've ever seen in my entire life.
John created a guide for what to watch on TV while everyone is staying at home. And we posted it on howardstern.com. A lot of the guys in the office were saying that John's list is exactly what you'd expect from a middle-aged, middle-class white guy.
Absolutely. So Jon Hein's list legit was like The Wire, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones. It's like, are you kidding me? Wow. There's so much good TV on right now that you would tell people to go back and rewatch 14 seasons.
I don't believe for a second Howard watched The Wire. He's too stupid for Breaking Bad. He's too stupid for Breaking Bad. He's too stupid for Mad Men, as they just said. I don't believe he watched Larry Sanders. I think it's too highbrow for him.
No, he definitely doesn't watch Larry Sanders.
No, that's way too deep.
Remember he used to brag about watching? Yeah, I just think he
probably watched 3 episodes and that was it. Okay, so now we're on day 3. So day 3 is when he's dying to have Alec Baldwin on so that he can extract from Alec how horrible it is to be home with his brood of, Irish twins and how horrible it must be in that home. All right, he was upset about the fact that stars are showing their homes now on these videos that are playing on Instagram and on Twitter. He's chiding them for not having some level of self-awareness of their surroundings and their belongings and their possessions and what they have.
This is vigorous at its height.
Oh, yeah.
Flying too close to the sun. Self-awareness is a word we use all the time on the show about him. Right. And this is almost just too good to be true.
This actually embodies the entirety of this week's shows, by the way. It
Absolutely,
really does.
It does.
Watching all of the celebrities on Instagram broadcasting from their house and doing concerts from their house.
We look like them, huh?
Yeah, we look like them, and I can't stand it. It's sickening. She's annoying. Should she be in Israel? I think she thinks she's Wonder Woman.
I think she does.
Yeah.
Someone turn the show down. Someone turn the show down. Guaranteed, Gal Gadot turned the show down promoting Wonder Woman.
Oh, absolutely.
They got a lot of shit for it because all these really super rich people in the super rich houses were singing "Imagine No Possessions" and everybody.
Right.
How is it that people have no self-awareness? And I say this to, mostly famous people that I see on the internet. Other people are sitting there really, having hard times. These guys living out of their car.
They actually need the $1,200 the government is going to send.
Gosh darn right. So it's the reason every one of Beth's Cats videos, all you see is my floor. I don't want some asshole being jealous of my couch. I go, honey, edit that. I don't want some person seeing the fact that we have a bed that was made in Holland in the 1600s.
Okay, let's just stop right there. Because there's a couple of things I want to show you guys. This is the bed he's talking about. Okay, this is the bed made in the 1600s in Holland. Now, okay, anybody who has been to Versailles or any of these stupid palaces where they show things from the 1600s, 1500s, whatever, all those people were really, really fucking tiny. Okay, so this bed, there is no way Howard fits lengthwise on this goddamn bed.
know.
He does not sleep here. Nobody sleeps here. That's what he's talking about in his palatial, yet another fireplace bedroom. This is his master bedroom. This has nothing to do with Beth's pink chalet that she happens to live in. You know what, Just Miss Jane, you're exactly right. Stern doesn't want the curtain pulled back. He's so far out of touch with us peons. It just goes to show even more now.
Tiger Lily said that too. None of us are jealous of your tacky Graceland-worthy interior Houchie. Yeah, if he has self-awareness, I think he's somewhat aware how much we all hate him and how much he screwed the company and how much these channels are on program. And when we see what we paid for, all you idiots who bought the Stiletto and the Starmate and hooked their car up and spent $1,500 to get hooked up in the beginning, and Howard took the money and ran. And as John told you on his show, he's paid for that whole mansion in stock bonuses.
Yeah.
And so when you show him what you paid for, you're gonna get angry. He knows how much that pisses. It's not out of some fake humility. It's he doesn't think we're worthy to look at what he's living, the decadence he's living in. We're not worthy
because he made his money off the back of being everyman. So now he's not, and he can't face it. But yet these shows really have exploited his hubris and his
Howard Hughes.
elitism. So what is this? I can't even read this. Quivertitinus and Tony's.
This was Robin hanging out with Fred's wife on drinking together on the computer. It's a really strange setup.
Oh, guess what I'm doing this evening?
Uh-oh.
I'm having a virtual cocktail party with Fred's wife.
Good, because she can't stand talking to Fred. So imagine being Fred.
A few of us who get to, we were like, let's have a virtual.
Just so you know,
that wasn't me. That was a dropout.
Right. This is
that
all
wasn't me. Yep.
The whole show was like this. The entirety of the show was dropout.
Virtual cocktail party.
I am so
we'll all
happy.
Get together in front of the computer screen with a drink.
But I was thinking about you, and I'm like, she's probably going to have a nervous breakdown because you're all alone.
This setup is Howard's dream. This setup is his, and this is what he aspires to do. I want to go home and do nothing. And this isn't some new endeavor. This isn't some new thought he's had. This has been in the 90s. He never wanted to work hard. If you go back and listen to his old shows, there's never a work. There's always somebody. Jackie's punching it up for him. There's always somebody doing the heavy lifting.
All right, let's move on. Alex number 5, Ron with bagel hands. I have a video of this, so can I go do the video?
Yeah, sure.
Please do that.
I'm glad I wasted 45 minutes making that.
No, it's okay. You know, sometimes,
I'm just kidding.
shut up. Sometimes the visual is a little
That's okay. We just need the title. Ron with bagel hands.
Ron, you there?
Morning.
Oh, hey, what up? Is it true you went and got a haircut?
Yeah, on Saturday before they closed the barbershop.
Why would you do that?
I mean, the guy was all fine. He had gloves and masks and shit, you know?
He had the blue water and the combs. It was protected.
It's not even the germs. He can't fathom a civilian tinkering with your scalp. It's like he cannot fathom anybody but his people and the hair system and Tony. In public, your hair is on display. He can't. It's not even the germs. It's more of your hair is on display in the general public.
Ronnie went shopping, went to the bank.
I went to. I was in bagels. That was it.
Meaning, like, you went into the bagel shop?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
It
Look at this furrowed brow. Look at how upset he is that he actually went and bought freshly baked goods from someone.
Do you believe Gary's rattled by that, Monique?
Yes, because he is boss's
I don't
boy.
believe.
He is
That's
boy
what
Gary.
I'm saying. He's not personally rattled, but he's pretending to be freaked
boy
out
Gary.
to appeal to Howard. We're all germaphobes when Howard's around.
That's
There were
right.
other people in there?
It was 2 other people.
Oh, my God.
How far apart are
Oh,
you?
my God. Oh, my
We're far
God.
apart. I stay far away.
But, like, are bagels an absolute necessity?
Gary, people go shopping. What the fuck are you supposed to do?
The mentality of someone who will not quarantine themselves.
It just makes me laugh that they think that people like, you know what? Again, it just goes back to what we have all been talking about here. Everybody has to go and shop. It's like, how are we supposed to like get our food if we don't go to a store and shop?
You can't relate to anything these people do. This is another thing that makes the show so awful. You can't relate to any. They're so elitist. They're so sequestered away from human contact. Have not lived a real life. Even when they were little, they didn't live a real life.
Is Gary paying like a service to go shopping for him?
Maybe. He could be lying, though, because the job is to appeal to Howard. Kiss Howard's ass. It's written there on the goddamn wall, so he's got to pretend to be germophobic.
He's an elitist, though. I think he pays somebody.
I can't hate Gary Moore anymore. Like,
I mean,
really.
he's such a...
How much does Richie Wilson want to punch Gary in the face right here? Just because of Ronnie's his best friend, and it's...
Dick.
I mean,
he is. Sorry, Gary's a fucking dick. Skipping over to Willett Luddite, Robin's washing machine, like that she doesn't even know where her washing machine is in her house.
Neither did Howard.
Yeah, Willett Luddite.
Oh, I love this. I love everything about this. All right, here we go.
This is what I'm talking about. You don't know how to clean.
That's the beauty of it. Like, Beth knows that. She says, "You cleaned in here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think so. Yeah."
I don't even know how to turn on the washing machine.
Yeah, I don't either.
How would I do laundry? I'm an invalid in that way.
Seriously, a Consuela that just came from Santo Domingo and is here like 3 days, and you hire her for $4 an hour, knows how to use a washing machine. Yeah, and the fact that Robin doesn't
And they're
know,
easier than ever now, right? Aren't they just easier to use now? It's more self-explanatory, huge directions on it. Cindy Lou Who, Monique, parsimonious, unwilling to spend money, stingy or frugal. Had to look it up. Thank you for your honesty, Cindy. You very easily could have just copied and pasted it and pretended you knew it.
Exactly. It's a great word, though. All right, so let's move on a bit of it.
So Howard's obsessed with every celebrity's routine. So this is him with his kids and what he does with, and Howard's getting off on that he doesn't have to do this stuff.
This entire house is a preschool. Every room has arrows and swords and ray guns and soccer balls and baskets filled of dinosaurs and car parts and rocket ships. And
how are you dealing with that?
My wife is single-handedly. I wonder if she brought the virus to this country with all these Chinese-made toys that she brought here.
Where's the article? Where's the article,
Variety? Package? My house is the stimulus. We spent $500 billion on toys in this house alone.
Okay, I'll give you a choice here. Well, you can indulge me on one of these, but the next one's called the serious depression. This is Alex saying if Howard's going to get fired if this virus goes on because all the advertisers are going to drop out. Sirius won't be relevant.
I like that.
Okay, it's just him kind of spitting it.
Yeah, I want to do that.
We could really have a depression in this country.
Right.
The economy could crash down. You really fully understand an economy. If you have no advertisers, if Sirius has no subscribers, you're out of a job eventually. We're all out of a job.
No, that's actually not true. Sirius is very akin to Costco. Like, their money is actually made and paid for with memberships.
Equipment.
So,
well, it used to be equipment.
Well, membership.
Well, in the beginning, it was equipment. He used to, Howard, you remember Howard in the beginning, when he first made the announcement in late 04 through 05, was Hawk equipment. It wasn't about the subscription. He just pushed that, and that stuff was such a markup for them. It was such a profit. He was walking around with, like he was Radio Raheem.
The equipment was just a bonus on top
of it.
Oh,
it was so, I'm telling you, it was such a part of it.
All right.
But like Costco, like I'm telling you, membership is what drives the business. So everything else is gravy.
I'll push it even further. It's actually the stuff that they're selling that what comes with the new cars is most of their new subscriptions. The car companies pay Sirius X amount of dollars for that Sirius that's installed in the car. That's why you get X amount of months free. Well, car sales have completely and utterly tanked. Shock. This is very bad for Sirius because they can't churn and churn and churn because they are getting no new subscribers at this point.
And he can't take credit for them.
That includes used cars because then the other person cancels the subscription and then it starts all over again with like a little free subscription.
Right, and it's not happening because the car sales have died, and they really have no other outlet at this point because they've set themselves up so shittily.
And Pandora is horrible now. It used to be something I loved, but now they're like full of commercials. And...
Pandora is the Titanic of streaming music.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that thing was a sinking ship. It was a perfect marriage. Two shitty companies come together, just like Renault and Fiat merging. It just made the perfect storm of bad. So, I mean, he doesn't even need to lose advertisers for them to go away because it's already set in motion. I love it.
From your mouth to God's ears. I swear to you. All right, where do you want to go next, Johnny?
You can indulge me a little bit with this next one. Okay, this next one is, my name is Xander, and I'm an alcoholic. This is Alec talking about, he's a teetotaler now. He's been a raging alcoholic years ago and a drug addict. So this is him talking about a 12-step program. And I want to ask the people in the box and you guys a question after we're done about Howard.
Are you tempted to start drinking again more
That's
now
a
that
funny
you are
question.
small?
That's a funny question. Well, you know something? I think that when people are under pressure, do I have a real thought about drinking or taking any kind of drugs? No. I mean, I'm beyond that. I've been doing this for so long, and I'm so much better off in my life without that.
Part of being sober is that when you go to meetings, you can...
It's not community for some people.
Blah, blah.
Could you imagine?
Gambling, food addiction, whatever, sex addiction,
All right, stop
shopping.
Stop it.
Wow.
Could you imagine Alec in a 12 how much he dominates a 12-step program with all the other people? He probably talks
more boring than somebody
80% of the time he's talking. And the commenters are he's dominating the group, and the guy goes, I was on the set of The Shadow and I saw Shivas wriggle on the rocks, and I thought, now's the time I go off the wagon. I had to call my sponsor in the moment. I was, Alec, can we go to somebody else? You've been speaking 45 minutes straight. But I want to ask everybody a question here. Howard started drinking, I thought about this the other day, at age 43 or 4. So this is right around Private Parts. Does anybody know anybody who started drinking in their mid-40s?
No.
Like Howard did. Because Howard's obsessed with asking these guys about their drinking because he started drinking and he doesn't drive anywhere and it hasn't been. And he's so does anyone besides Howard, do you know, that had started drinking in their mid-40s?
No.
It's bizarre. It's so bizarre. Do you buy it, or do you think he really did start drinking in his mid-40s?
Well, I think as a teetotaler,
Anything.
I think that he loves to bring up things that might be like stressful or hurtful to
or he loves that he can do it and he can't.
That's exactly right.
Right.
So
Just Miss Jamie's right. Yes, midlife crisis machine. That's exactly right. Start drinking at 30. That's a midlife crisis move. Absolutely. Divorce him. That's exactly when he got divorced. There's a complete correlation to the divorce and started drinking the exact time. Absolutely. Midlife crisis machine.
All right, so let's do Alec and Ilaria.
And we don't talk about the nuts and bolts in front of the kids. No point in contaminating them with fear and so forth. We want them to be kids and enjoy their lives and enjoy their day, and that's it.
But at the same time, I mean, your kids they pick up more than you think.
They're finishing each
they're
other's
constantly
sentences.
talking about.
I feel like she's like 4 feet tall with that voice.
She is. She's like 5'1".
She's got that Spanish chicken voice.
As long as we don't show that we're stressed out about it, then they don't get stressed out about it. And right now,
good point, Monique.
What?
Fred, play chicken noises now.
Yeah, exactly.
Play Selena chicken noises right now when Hilaria is speaking. Go ahead.
What do you tell them? Do you tell them?
Wow.
That's nice. That's nice.
Look at that. Holy crap.
But cranberry juice with a splash of vodka.
You're right. And see, that's his second.
Wow. Brutal.
That is Faja Bruta.
And by the way, is there a different skin color tan line here? Like,
yeah, that's where the wig sits.
Right? Is this space, this empty?
Look at that. Crypt Keeper and Mr. Burns all rolled in. Look at that.
That's why we're not having play dates. We're not going out. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. And it's going to be like this for a while, but it's because we know that we're going to be okay.
And I try to.
I feel like Ilaria never shuts up. Like,
you see him rolling his eyes.
Like, she just does not shut up.
He's gonna go back to Kim. He's gonna go back to Kim Basinger after this.
So he's gonna start drinking again.
Look at Alec.
Yeah.
He looks
That's
tired.
the face of a man that just wants to say, "Shut up, Ilaria."
My
Did anybody
mother
bitch at them like they do to us? Stop talking over each other. Why is everybody like Why is the sound quality?
And they can see each other. They can see each other. This ends it, Monique. So this is a great one. This is called Baldwin State, and it's the ends, and it's an interesting little weirdo.
All right, we only actually have 2 clips left, so I'm excited.
Holy
about this.
mackerel!
All right, we got to this. Okay, here we go.
This is the same clip.
This guy's name is Arm. He wants to speak to Stephen Baldwin. Go ahead, Arm.
I agree with that. Your brother Billy is the biggest pussy boy in films.
Why?
How does he continually get cash? You can't fail more than he does. I understand he asked.
As a matter of fact, I think you should go right to Washington,
I know somebody named Fillmore. All right, sorry.
D.C. today and straighten out all the political problems of the entire universe.
I'd rather watch Fred in a marathon.
Is your brother Alec trying to become the president of the United States?
I have no comment.
Stephen, he asked China out by saying, "I like your music." What did he went up to him and went, hold on for one more day. Oh, God, his career is hideous. How do you live with that guy? Steven, right now, is it Billy or William, can I call him? What is it right now?
Yeah,
I think you should approach him with all these situations on the street. I'd like to beat the living crap out of him, which is what I like to do.
You're saying you're challenging Billy Baldwin to a fight?
If you'll ref it, Howard, I'll do it.
Absolutely, I would be there.
Can we set it up?
Pay-per-view.
How about a tag team? Me and Frank Stallone against Geraldo and Billy.
Okay. All right, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Well, Steven, obviously he is not a fan of your brothers.
Bro, I love your fans so much. They're brilliant.
Yeah, I mean...
That's our Johnny. That's our Johnny.
I couldn't help it. Speaking of
How
arm.
many years ago was that?
Oh, my God. This has got to be... I don't even want to do the math anymore. It's got to be 20 years ago.
Wow. That's amazing.
FME nominee. Best Celebrity Fight.
That's exactly right. It was an FME nominee.
Wow.
There's your Johnny. He's been doing this for how many years now? Still calling into the show.
That sound like prepubescent harmony.
Never once has he mentioned Gunk. All right, what?
No, not
what?
once.
How could how would I predict in 20 years we'll be doing a podcast called Radiogunk? So I'm going to reference it and plug it now for 20 years in advance.
Okay, so we want to do Fruity of Versailles.
Do Fruity of Versailles. This is Alex.
Yeah. So where are you? Are you in? You're in the city?
No, I'm on Long Island.
How does he not know that when they only live probably about a mile away from each other?
Because Howard won't reveal shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Near you.
You're doing it from Versailles? Are you at Versailles?
What I'm doing is I'm actually doing this today over Zoom. I'm in my office, but yesterday I had a guy come in a hazmat suit, and he installed professional equipment in my basement, and then I'll be broadcasting from my basement on better equipment.
All right, so you guys, this is our run through of this week's horrific shows. We'll try to do another one next week because it'll be interesting to see how he kind of tries to save face from this horrific week of broadcasting.
But question, does he do 4-hour shows? I think not.
That'll be interesting.
I'd
be interested in what the people have to say about it. Yeah, that'll be interesting. And then how many people will join the show and how many people will be involved with it? That'll be an interesting question as well.
Okay, and I will predict he will have Andy Cohen on. That'll be one guest. He's going to go into the whole corona.
He has the Rona.
Right. That's why he's going to have him on. That they try to get. He'll be on. They will have Whitney Cummings on. They will have.
That's way too many guests already. You get way too
but
many
I think
guests
that he can't. It's going to be something he can't. The more nervous he is, the more he needs his friends. So he's going to bring in the retread birthday bash people.
And hopefully we'll get back together and we'll do this again next week. And love you all. And thank you guys for participating. Thank you, Dennis, and thank you, John.
Remember my name, babe. I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna learn how to fly. I'm gonna get together. People will see me and cry.
Crazy, huh? Crazy, huh?
Oh, you're supposed to say fame. Okay, do it, Dennis. Do it, Dennis. Remember. God, Dennis.
Remember. Okay.
Remember my name, bang. Oh, nice collab, Dan.
I feel slap happy. She just bail on us?
She might. Did we get it? I want to see if any of that made it on.
We're still live, but
no, we're not live. Are we live, guys?
If you read the thing on the screen, it says we're live.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't hear another comment. Hey, Mike K, Nora Charles, did you hear any of that? Are we still live?
They're laughing at us.
They're laughing at us. Let's read the comments. How does she not look at the Coon Hunter? I got to know who the Coon Hunter is. I think it's Sal. I think it's Sal Governale. I think that's the real Coon Hunter. That's just Sal. All right, guys. Have a good night. Thank you, everyone. That's Pibble Girl. Virtual hug.
The thing is, somebody has to stop the broadcast.
I guess if we click out, Monique, you listen to this? It might just drop it. Oh God, she might have to. She sounded exhausted though. I think she had you could see her voice trailing off towards the end. As soon as we hit 11 o'clock, Monique's on, Mountain Time.
The warm milk time.
Thanks for hanging with us tonight. Please join us for any discussion at radiogunk.com in the forums section. Follow us on Instagram or Twitter at Radiogunk. And don't forget to like this and subscribe to us and hit that little bell so that you know when we're going to have a new show. Thanks.